Without rain, nothing grows. Learn to embrace the storms of your life. That's Leo Tolstoy.
It's a powerful way to start thinking about things, definitely.
It really is. And it sets the stage perfectly for our deep dive today. A compelling image, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Because those challenging things, the storms.
Yeah, often they're precisely what enables our most profound growth.
Right. It's a paradox we see a lot.
Exactly. And that's our mission today, really, to grapple with this fascinating paradox. We all seek truth, right? We turn to these revered sources, thinkers, ancient texts.
Usual suspects for wisdom.
Correct. But what if those very sources sometimes become obstacles to understanding, real truth for ourselves?
That's the crux of it.
So this deep dive is about navigating that tension, inherited knowledge versus authentic personal discovery.
Yeah.
We'd be pulling from people like Marcus Aurelius, Thoreau, even modern guys like Robert Greene.
A real mix of perspectives there.
Definitely. So for you listening right now, here's the core challenge we're looking at. How do we actually know what's accurate, what's genuinely true for us?
And maybe the even bigger question.
Yeah?
How do we then live authentically, in light of that discovery?
Yes. That's it. Because it's one thing to know, another to live it.
It really is an essential question. And this paradox of knowledge, it's incredibly subtle, isn't it? It bumps up against a very human tendency.
Which is?
Well, Tolstoy pointed this out. He said, the opinion of a revered writer or thinker can have a deep influence on society. It can also be a big obstacle to understanding real truth.
We naturally defer to authority. We like the comfort of established ideas.
Exactly. But that deference, like you said earlier, it can sort of harden, become an intellectual dependence.
And that stops us from engaging directly with reality ourselves.
Precisely.
That's a really powerful point. I mean, how often do we just accept something because, everyone says so or the experts said it?
All the time. It's almost automatic sometimes.
It's like that thought experiment, right? If some revered figure convinced everyone for generations the sky was green.
Even though you see blue.
Yeah. Would you trust your own eyes or the truth you inherited from the authority? That's the challenge Tolstoy puts out there.
And what's really radical about Tolstoy here is his idea of the democracy of truth.
Democracy of truth. Explain that.
He basically says, divine truth may be revealed in the speech of children, or in the ravings and nightmares of madmen, or in the ordinary conversations of simple people.
Wow. So not just from the lofty thinkers.
Not at all, he goes on. And weak and false thoughts may be found in books which have come to be considered great or even sacred.
So truth doesn't care about hierarchy. Credentials, history, none of that matters.
According to this view, nope. It can pop up anywhere. It's a call to judge the idea itself, not where it came from.
That's a crucial distinction. And if we link this to our lives, to the big picture, Marcus Aurelius comes in with that stark reminder.
Oh yeah, that you could leave life right now.
Exactly. Let that determine what you do and say and think. When you face that immediacy of mortality.
Suddenly the comfort of just inheriting beliefs doesn't seem so appealing, does it?
Not really.
Yeah.
Does that urgency, do you think, really push us to seek authentic truth over the comfortable stuff?
I think it absolutely can. That urgency cuts through the complacency. It forces you beyond just relying on others because the stakes feel, well, much higher.
Right. You feel this need to figure out what you genuinely believe, what fits with your values, not just what you're told.
It becomes deeply personal, an internal imperative. And this search, this very personal search, it leads us naturally to a really radical insight from Thoreau. Tolstoy loved this one too.
Okay, what did Thoreau say?
Thoreau basically argues our deepest growth, what he calls moral perfection, often starts when we shed the frameworks we grew up with, the inherited stuff.
He puts it pretty bluntly, doesn't he?
Very. For the majority of mankind, religion is a habit, or more precisely, tradition is their religion.
Habit or tradition as religion.
Yeah. And then, though it seems strange, I think that the first step to moral perfection is your liberation from the religion in which you were raised. Not a single person has come to perfection except by following this way.
Whoa. That is intense. But you're saying it's broader than just literal religion.
No, absolutely. It applies to any inherited framework, any untested belief system you've just absorbed without thinking.
Right, like one of the sources had that simple analogy. The spinach thing.
Yeah, the spinach. Your family always said, we don't like spinach, so you just never tried it.
But being brave enough to actually taste it yourself, form your own opinion based on your experience.
It's a tiny step, maybe, but it's towards that liberation Thoreau talks about, personal validation over just accepting tradition.
It's the imperative of authenticity then.
Exactly. Malidoma Patrice Sommet put it well, as long as we are not ourselves, we will try to be what other people are.
So finding genuine wisdom means questioning not just what we believe.
But digging into the why. Why do I believe this? Many accepted truths, as Tolstoy kind of hinted, look like truth only because we have never tested them, never thought about them in a more precise way.
We just assume they're true. And Tolstoy warns about idolatry here too, right?
Yes, that's a powerful warning. If we treat every single word in, say, a holy book or any revered text as absolute capital T truth.
We've essentially made an idol out of it.
Right, we're mistaking the container, the book, the tradition, the thinker for the actual content, the truth itself.
Okay, but hang on. Isn't there a risk here? Like, how do we avoid just dismissing all inherited knowledge? How do you tell helpful tradition from harmful idolatry without, throwing the baby out with the bathwater?
That is the critical question, isn't it? And the distinction, I think, lies in critical engagement. It's not about rejecting just 'cause, it's about really examining it.
So asking, does this wisdom actually resonate with my own experience, my own reason?
Or am I only accepting it because of the source? It's a constant balancing act.
Okay, but this liberation, this questioning, it doesn't mean we should just go around arguing with everyone, challenging every authority figure we meet.
No. And that's where Robert Greene's advice in The Daily Laws brings in a really crucial balance. He says, quite starkly, never argue. In society, nothing must be discussed. Give only results.
Never argue. That seems counterintuitive for a truth seeker. You'd think debate is essential.
Right. But Greene's point isn't about intellectual submission. It's more about strategic wisdom. Navigating the social world requires a different approach than pure philosophical inquiry sometimes.
So why no arguing? What's his reasoning?
He warns that, well, words are never neutral, and arguing, especially with the superior, it kind of impugns the intelligence of someone more powerful.
Okay, that makes sense from a practical standpoint.
Plus, let's be honest, arguments often just fall on deaf ears. We all tend to think we're right.
Guilty as charged sometimes.
So Greene's core lesson is, you must be careful to always try to demonstrate the correctness of your ideas indirectly. Show, don't just tell, give results.
Demonstrate indirectly. Show results. That really connects with something else. It reminds me of Simon Sinek's idea about mentors.
Oh yeah, how so?
Sinek says, a mentor is not someone who walks ahead of us to show us how they did it. A mentor walks alongside us to show us what we can do.
I see the connection. True guidance isn't about asserting authority or forcing people to agree.
Exactly. It's about creating the conditions for others to discover things for themselves. Influence through facilitation, not force or argument. It fits Greene's strategy perfectly.
It really does. Being an example, not just a debater.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we take all this deep philosophical stuff and actually, bring it into our daily lives, make it practical?
Well, John Wooden, the legendary basketball coach, offers something really grounded here with his definition of success.
Not the usual definition, I bet.
Not at all, he said. Success is peace of mind, which is a direct result of self-satisfaction in knowing you did your best to become the best you are capable of becoming.
Peace of mind, self-satisfaction, doing your best. That completely reframes the typical idea of success, doesn't it?
Totally. It's not about the external stuff, wealth, fame, getting everything perfect. It's deeply internal.
Right. Shifts the focus from getting validation from outside to finding fulfillment inside. And this ties in beautifully with what some of the material described as a meaningful life.
Okay.
Not being rich, being popular, being highly educated, or being perfect. Instead, it is about being real, being humble, being able to share ourselves and touch the lives of others.
Being real, humble, sharing. That grounds the whole pursuit of wisdom and genuine connection and self-acceptance, turns philosophy into, well, lived experience.
Exactly. And Wooden gives us the discipline for it, too. He said, perform at your best when your best is required.
And then the kicker.
Your best is required each day.
Every single day. It's not just for the big game or the big presentation. It's the consistent, daily practice of embodying what you understand.
Living your truth day in, day out, which becomes that indirect demonstration Greene talked about.
And the authentic self-expression some mention.
And maybe even gets you closer to that moral perfection Thoreau suggested. It ties it all together.
Which brings us right back around to Tolstoy's opening metaphor.
Without rain, nothing grows. Learn to embrace the storms of your life.
And those storms, They aren't just the obvious external hardships like losing a job or a tough relationship.
No, there are also these internal processes we've been discussing, right? The discomfort of questioning what you've always believed.
The vulnerability of facing mortality. The sheer courage it takes to choose authentic expression over just fitting in.
And the discipline of that daily excellence. Beneficial difficulty, you might call it.
So these storms are actually essential for growth. They strip away the false stuff, the unexamined traditions.
Making space for genuine wisdom to take root.
So the journey looks something like this. Start by questioning inherited truths, not out of cynicism, but love of wisdom.
Then finding the courage for liberation, your authentic voice,
Engaging strategically showing, not just arguing.
and committing to that daily practice, embodying your insights consistently.
The result is, well, it's a truly democratic vision of wisdom, isn't it? Truth doesn't belong to one authority.
It emerges through that courageous questioning, authentic living, and skillful engagement, especially now, in an age with so many competing certainties and inherited divides.
This approach feels like a clearer path towards genuine understanding.
One storm at a time.
Okay, so as you, listening, go about your day, maybe think of yourself as a kind of wisdom detective. You've got your kit ready. Let's quickly recap the tools.
Good idea. Tool number 1.
Your question tool. Always asking, how do I really know this is true? Challenge yourself. Don't just believe it because someone important said it. Test it.
Okay. Second tool. The courage badge. Be brave enough to actually be yourself. Even if it means stepping outside the box others put you in.
Third, the action camera. Forget winning arguments with words. Let your actions demonstrate your truth. Show the results.
Number 4. The helper's hand. Don't just tell people what to think. Help them discover their own wisdom. Be that mentor walking alongside.
Fifth, the daily practice. Aim for your personal best every day. Not perfection, remember, but that self-satisfaction Wooden talked about, becoming the best you can be.
And finally, the storm shield. Remember that tough times, internal turbulence, external challenges, that's the rain that helps you grow. Don't just avoid it. Embrace it.
Because ultimately, like Tolstoy said, any important thought, no matter where it comes from, should be discussed. And every thought, no matter who said it, should be given attention.
It really boils down to openness.
Yeah. The ultimate wisdom isn't just about what you know. It's maybe more about the humility to stay open to truth wherever you find it.
Combined with the courage to actually live authentically based on what you discover.
That's the real challenge and maybe the real adventure.